TNA fan, we're back here, the impzonepod podcast. How's it going? Today I want to talk about TNA's awesome variety of music that they have for most of their superstars. Now, some of the themes aren't as much bangers as what some of them are, but most of the themes in TNA are absolute bangers and absolutely better than WWE's themes overall, because nearly all of them you can recognize within a few short seconds and go, oh, it is this person, holy crap. Even when somebody sort of debuts a new theme, usually it gets over fairly quickly. These themes don't, take months and months and years, or they don't all sort of sound so similar that you go, wait a minute, is this person or that person, or is it this person, or is it 20 other people, before you finally go, oh, it's this person. And by that time, the amount of hype or the amount of interest has kind of fallen off, and you've kind of missed that opportunity for that pop and for that reaction from the crowd. 9 times out of 10, you get that reaction. Now, I will say that some of them, especially the newer ones, sometimes they'll take time to sort of resonate a little bit more, but it does happen. But yeah, I want to talk about all of these things because just about every single one of them is absolutely awesome. Obviously, Mike Santana's theme is absolutely awesome. I don't know whether he'll ever change it, but he's had that theme for quite a while now, ever since he returned back to TNA, and it is absolutely a banger, absolutely amazing, fits him very well, couldn't really fit anyone else, in any ways. I know it sort of does talk about, some stuff specifically, I think in there it says his name and stuff like that, but, if you removed some of that or whatever else it was, yeah, you'd have to try to find somebody who's from, New York or has that sort of background that Santana has to make it work. So I don't really know that anyone else could ever have that theme and it be that thing that everyone resonates to. And everyone feels is the theme, because he's the guy in the company right now, obviously. Obviously, before you had Joe Hendry, he had a great theme. I don't know whether he still has the same theme in WWE. I know Jordynne Grace changed her. She had a good theme in TNA. But yeah, Leon Slater's last theme was really good. His new theme, I haven't quite seen, caught up with as much, but it is still pretty darn good. And I will say it has started to get over, and it, I can't remember how long ago he debuted it, maybe a couple months ago. But yeah, it's finally starting to connect with the crowd, because the crowd are starting to finally get, okay, this is the new beat, this is the new theme, this is it. Okay, now we know who it is, now we're getting used to it, we are getting to understand who it is, and we are getting that, that reception of, oh, it's Leon, here we go, let's go, not just, wait, who's this, especially when he first debuted it, there was a lot of wait, who's this, and then it was oh, it's Leon, oh, okay, and then it's just getting used to this new theme of oh yeah, okay, it's Leon, yeah, people forget these things or whatever. I mean, I think it's one of those things that it's the most impactful or the most visible when you have a Royal Rumble or something like that, especially for returns and things like that. But still, if you see these themes or hear these themes, it is somewhat generic to some extent, especially the new one. But I do think that it is pretty all right, and people are starting to get more connected to it. So I'm not going really in any specific order here as well, but I'm just talking about themes that I think are, absolutely good, or are maybe some that are kind of getting in touch with the fan base or whatever. I guess I'll talk about some that are just not good, or I don't think are good as well, but aren't really that many. There aren't many that I feel like are bad or not good. So we will go through as many as what I can here. And I'm not going to just talk about the male roster. I'm going to talk about the female roster. Even though I'm not the hugest fan of Lei Ying Li, her theme is actually pretty good and pretty, like, everyone knows who it is when that theme is playing. I mean, I guess as well, like, you see her on the entranceway and things like that. And I know people will say, well, look at the Tron, whose name comes up, or whatever else it is. Things like that. But still, like, that doesn't really always get you to know who it is 100% of the time, because sometimes the name doesn't come up till later or whatever else. Things like that and whatever. But again, same thing for Trons as well. Like, TNA has some great Trons as well. Great, like, packages in those. It's not just, wrestler's name.exe, like, you just see their name. Like, there are some that are like that, but it's like, okay, why is this, what is this? How are we making it different from, the other person's, name.exe, like, so Santana's is that very, like, hood rich sort of, like, logo sort of thing, like, it has that, LA, New York vibe, street art vibe, with the spray paint and stuff like that. Even though Trey Miguel's, I will talk about Trey's even more in just a second, but even though Trey's has that spray paint street art look, you can very easily tell the difference, because Mike Santana's is more like other colors to an extent, and Trey's is very much just green. So you can kind of give that kind of, like, Santana's is blue-red, I think, mostly, but Trey's is just, like, green. That's it, green. This neon green. And Trey, just as I was saying, his theme song, is really great. It's very simple in some ways, and sometimes that's what it takes. Simple is sometimes better. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. It just has to be good. And that's the thing, like, just about every theme that I can think of, and we'll talk about, like, or try to talk about as many as possible, as quickly as possible in here, is great or good. Or maybe if it's a newer theme, it's like, well, it's still finding its feet, like, so I'll give that a bit of a break. Maybe there is one or two here that I will say, oh, that one's not that good, or whatever else it is. But no, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Mustafa Ali, he has a new theme now, so yeah, that's starting to connect, and people are starting to get used to that. I think the system, I can't remember exactly when they got their new theme, basically about the same time as Leon did. So that's still finding connection, I guess, to some extent. But yeah, it is still pretty good, I think, and it is still pretty, like, especially like this last weekend when they had their live singers come out and sing their song. I actually think that was cool and that was great, and it actually got the song over more, so that was cool. The Elegance Brands is very, very iconic. AJ Francis, it's one of those cool things when the wrestler is actually the artist behind some of, like, or behind their own theme music. And AJ has been behind both of his own, like, theme musics in TNA, which is really, really cool in some ways. But he has that kind of iconic money, to start his sort of, entrance anyway. So even though his theme is new, you've still got that money to kind of connect to and go, oh, okay, it's AJ, here we go. This guy, even if he's not a babyface, you can still get that pop from the audience, or those jeers from the audience of, like, oh, it's this heel, boo, like, whatever. I think BDE, his theme song, he had that same theme song on the Indies, right? I'm pretty sure. But again, like the fact that he got to keep his theme song and TNA wasn't just like, oh, let's change up your theme song and make it something else or whatever else it is, blah blah blah. We'll mix, don't mix with the formula that's working. I will talk about somebody else here right now in just a second as well. Same sort of thing. They didn't mess with the formula. He had a formula that was working, and they said, "Okay, that's your theme song. Let's get it over here. Let's get the rights to it for us to use it, and we'll keep it. We're not gonna just find somebody to make you a new theme and this and that or whatever else it is. Um, you know, that's what hurts people sometimes is changing things up and tweaking with things too much. Sometimes, yes, things need to change or need to shift, but not always. Ricky Sosa, another prime example, absolutely prime example. He had music on the indies for, I don't know even for how long, but he's been on the indies for a while. He's had that, viral entrance music and people going crazy for it. What did TNA do? They brought him along and said, we're going to keep your theme music exactly the same. We're not going to change it. We're just going to get the rights to use it, and we're going to use it. That's it. We're not going to, we're not going to go around and, make different changes or whatever else it is or whatnot. No, that's your theme music. Everyone's getting to know it. It's getting viral. Okay, let's go. So let's keep it going. Let's not change things up. Let's just keep things going and be happy with it. The Righteous, their theme song is really cool. And again, it's sort of like fits them pretty well. A pretty interesting theme in many ways. I like Elijah's theme music quite a lot right now, and his theme is quite good. Eric Young's used to be pretty good, but I think since he's had a transition, I'm still kind of getting used to it, so I will leave that one on the side for a little while. Kazarian's I don't know how long he's had this theme song, probably a couple of years now, but his new theme song is awesome, and I think it caught on pretty much immediately for the most part. It wasn't a longer transition of people getting used to it. They kind of got used to it very much almost immediately. And I haven't really seen many people floating away from it or not connecting to it or whatever else. So I found that most people have. I think Enya's new theme song is like a new theme song. So it is like people are still kind of getting used to it. And it, like any theme song, a lot of theme songs that sort of have a sort of a break at the beginning or sort of a silence at the beginning, like Ariana Grace's theme, that kind of has that sort of silence at the beginning. It sort of does take away from some of these things, and maybe it's just the timing of these things or whatever else it is, the way you're meant to transition into these things and whatnot. But again, that's the thing. You need to. Sometimes it is about the atmosphere of the crowd as well. So, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it is tough to say that it's like that is the theme song failing, or it's not connecting right, or it's not timed right, or whatever else it is, because you can still have that sort of silence in the arena sometimes as well, or that pseudo silence in the arena, and it's like, well, is that the awe before the storm sort of thing? I don't know. But yeah. Casey Navarro's got new theme music, so it's going to take a little while, I think, before, that really catches on and really gets going. Mara Shade's theme music absolutely slaps. Absolutely slaps. And that thing has gotten over quickly, and I'm not surprised that, people really enjoy what she's doing. and have connected well with her music. So that's cool. Um, obviously, I'm not gonna talk about the Hardys too much because obviously their theme song has been a banger for a long time. Everyone likes it. Come on, of course it is. Moose's theme song is incredible, incredible, amazing, and obviously it has the moose, sort of, chant going along with it. So that's the thing. It's like very easy. You know who it is. It's Moose. Come on, you know. So Nick Nemes is awesome. Like it's great. The zipper unfurling or whatever, and then the oh my god. Like that's a great theme song. Rosemary's is obviously great. Her old theme song used to be really good too. Macklin's theme song is really, really great. Santino's is great as well, even though he's an authority figure or whatever. Tessa Blanchard's is great. The Hometown Man's one is so funny, but is so great as well. I love it so much. But yeah, I cannot think of just about anyone that is on this roster, and I'm looking through the roster page now as I'm saying this, that has a bad theme. Maybe their theme, like the way that the camera cuts to the audience, oh, not the audience, but the ring or the entranceway or whatever else it is, sometimes is a little bit too early, or the theme needs to hit earlier before, you're sort of you sort of have that silence before leading into it more, so that almost as soon as you see the lights and things changing, that it's like you hear the music come on straight away, so you can go, okay, cool, it's all, synced up more. You're not just hearing this, few seconds of silence, and it's like, and the lights are going different colors and stuff like that. It's like, okay, what's going on? You need to have that music hit at the very start. Like, so as the lights change and everything changes, you need to have that music starting, the sounds going, not just the silence. You need to get rid of that silence part and just get into the actual da-da-da-da-da of the song, like, so a few themes are like that, but beyond that, like, those are the least good themes, like, whatever. But even then, like, once the theme gets going and the theme is there, it's really good. Even like Heels, again, like, I've gone through a bunch of Heels that are on here that is like, oh yeah, they have a pretty good theme too. Jada Stone has a really good theme. Indy Hartwell has a good one. Jody Threat has a good one. What are they called? What are they called? I'm about to say the Motor City Machine Guns, dude. What am I thinking, bro? Wow, my brain. Sinner and Saint, their theme song they got a new one fairly recently as well, actually, I think. And that one's just really good as well. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, some of the other themes that I do think are a little bit lacking or whatever are newer themes for the most part, because they haven't really had time to sort of, connect. And people haven't connected to that new theme songs. Actually, I will say Zaya Brookside is about to have new theme song, but her current, or her sort of semi-current one, has been really great for the time that she's used it. So, as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see for her new theme song as well. Hopefully it is good. I'm pretty sure it will be good, because like TNA for the most part has really great theme songs. And they go into so much more effort to produce these theme songs, or having outside artists or whatever else it is sort of embedded in these in this music. Because again, that is sometimes what it takes to get something, great together, the artist, and the wrestler, like you already have theme song because you say, hey, I need to get a theme song and I need a banger and I need somebody to sing this shit, so hey, I need to go out of my way, or I need my agent to go out of their way to get a theme song made, because again, if I don't have theme music, it's sort of one of those things that will hinder my career. I need to have really good theme music so that, again, when I'm coming to an arena near you, you get that reaction, whether you're heel or whether you're babyface. Those reactions are what, you rely on for, to getting into either return or to, a debut in a new company. Because again, if you're not, I suppose, unknown, but if people don't know who you kind of are immediately within that theme dropping, it's like, oh, okay, perhaps back to the drawing board then. And that sort of thing. That's where people need to realize, hey, like, it's not just the job of the company that I'm going to get signed to get music done. It's my job to go out there and find it, get it created for myself, and maybe even work with the company. It depends if I'm training with somebody and they're saying, hey, well, we're going to start getting you out there in front of the crowds and stuff like that, so we need music for you, we need a theme song or whatever. Yeah, sure, great, I'd love a theme song, so let's talk about what it will be, and it needs to be unique, and it needs to, blah blah blah, this, and it needs to have that, or what do you think it should be, like, that back and forth between, like, creativity versus, like, is this overproduction? Because you don't want that. You don't want to stifle the creativity of somebody by being, overly, like, not, I don't know how else to say this, but overly producing them, I guess, is the thing. And that's the thing with WWE. They have mostly terrible theme music because they overproduce everything, and they don't go out of their way to say, okay, you can have your own theme song. You can go and, get this theme song or get that theme song, and we'll pay for it or whatever or whatnot. Or we'll license it. We don't care. Because, like, you're like, for CM Punk, for, like, Cody Rhodes, for some of those guys, absolutely, sure, they do that. But obviously, like, again, it is tougher because, again, I guess, like, the newer or younger demographic of wrestlers don't really have that iconic thing to them yet. So experimentation is good with younger wrestlers, but once you've got something that's kind of working to an extent, it's so, like, keep it, don't mess with it, and don't just keep changing it all the goddamn time. Be like, okay, is this working? No. Okay, cool, let's change it then. Like, if it is taking time to connect, it is like, well, it might work, but it is taking that time, so it's like, maybe it will work, maybe it won't, but you've got to keep running that risk. Like, if something is going to be changed, it's going to be like, well, now we've got to wait to see if this is going to, get over. How long are you going to give these things before you say, it's not working, or the fans didn't really react to that, or whatever, So again, it's not just, getting out there in front of the crowds and saying, let's change it next week. Let's change it next week. No, stop changing it. That's the problem. If you keep changing it, fans will never grow to, like, connect to it. You've got to set it out there and say, okay, this is going to be, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever else it is. And then we'll see, okay, this wasn't working. Okay, all right, whatever. Let's try something else, right? So then say, okay, or especially when there's a heel change or a babyface change or whatever else it is, do change it then sometimes as well. But just saying, hey, we're just going to change it tomorrow for no reason. Oh, we're going to change it again tomorrow for no real. What? What are you doing? There's so much, that people go, wait, that was your, wait. People are starting to get used to it and then you change it, or like especially when you debut a new one, it's like, oh, okay, you've got a new theme. Oh, okay, all right. Well, maybe if you keep that theme for more than 5 minutes, maybe people will, actually acclimatize to it and go, oh, okay, so this is going to stick around. Okay, this thing is going to be 6 months, a year, maybe even longer, who knows? Or maybe this will be more permanent or whatever. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, like, we're not going to just sit here and say, again, just because the theme is good, that we keep it forever sometimes. But even if we're going to change it, we've got to say, okay, why are we changing it? What's it changing to? And does that connect to people? Because if it doesn't connect to people, then it's like, well, why have we got it? Why are we paying for it? And why are we continuing to put it out there? Yes, there is that grace period where you say, well, it's a new theme, so people are getting used to it or whatever. But again, like, yeah, you can't just keep saying, oh, we'll give it time. At a certain point, it is working or not working. And if it's working, why are we changing it? You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be changing if something is working. We should just be saying, yeah, let's cruise with that. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this, the vibes happening and people enjoying what they're hearing and popping and reacting in the way that we hope that they do for these things. We're not going to just change it because, we feel like it and whatever else, or it's, we just have to or whatever because, like, it's Tuesday, guys. It's Tuesday. So we change everything on Tuesday, but yeah. Or maybe there was a decision of, like, hey, we didn't think this thing was connecting or catching on or people were vibing with it or whatever else it was, so we decided to change it. All right, well, that means, like, for maybe a few weeks or even for a few months or whatever it is or whatnot, I don't know, we have to say, okay, cool, great, let's get new music, let's figure out what we're going to do new with this. And then in that time, perhaps that's caught on and you're like, wait, so are we still going to change it? And then you change it and it's like, oh, now we have to go through the same process again of, waiting to see whether this will connect. Like, instead of saying, no, let's just go back to what we had or whatever else it was and keep it the same so people can connect to it. They can, get used to it. They can understand, okay, this is this person. This is that person. They all have to sound distinct, unique, special. They can't just all sound like, generic pop song number 1, whatever. Generic rock song number 2, whatever. Generic metal sound number 3, whatever. Etc., etc. You've got to have themes and things that, resonate for each person and each character and each individual. Even, again, saying, like, even like back in the day, the Attitude Era, whatever, the Ruthless Aggression Era, even the PG era, even, like a lot of these other eras had the mid-carders or the lower carders had iconic, unique, specific music that you could basically instantly recognize. Chavo was, ooh, Chavo, you would know it immediately, not for the lack of him just saying, ooh, Chavo, like you could feel a lot of the themes. They felt like something was specific about them, like every single one had something, to offer for the most part, you know. So yeah, like that's what I'm glad TNA has, in spades of, and I hope that they never change and they just become like WWE, where it's just like generic rock song number 38, whatever, for just about everyone, or whatever else it is, or some variant of that. I hope that, they don't cheapskate on music, and like they need to improve certain other things, absolutely, of course. And some of them, I even said, like here and there, maybe the theme needs to hit quicker, or you need to like cut the cameras quicker, or you need to cut the lights at a certain time, or you need to just get rid of that dead air, or whatever else it is. Because again, that's just not useful. It's no use to anyone to see or to have that dead air. You need to have those moments where, if there is dead air or whatever, that it feels like there is a reason and a purpose for it. It's not just, well, I'm seeing the lights flicker, what's going on? And sometimes that's because, hey, somebody's debuting in the dark or returning in the dark. Then it makes sense. You know what I mean? But if you're seeing like the lights flicker, or the lights changing colors and things like that, okay, somebody's entrance is happening, but I don't hear any music. Oh, here it comes. Seconds later, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, right. It's this person, right. That's the dissonance. And I can get that that's maybe a little bit different between, like, again, in the arena and watching it at home or watching it from afar, because mostly I watch these things from afar and whatnot. So maybe like the live audience does always sort of see that sort of thing, and they're used to that sort of thing to an extent. But like, I would think if you just have the lights going and things like that, it's like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, have the music as well, synchronize them up so that, again, like if there is those few seconds of like dead air in that song or in that theme, okay, no, we can't have that. We've got to have the theme hitting, like, here we go, right, cool, it started, not just silence. You've got to have that thing that people are going to resonate to. People can't resonate to silence, so yeah. But yeah, nah, I think that we have some great theme music, and I am glad that, they're very like open to having, indie artists and even some other bigger artists make music for them, because that's what WWE used to do. They used to be like, hey, let's go out of our way to make music, or to collab with other, stars or whatever, or have the stars who actually sing the song come to the ring, or sing the song while they're on the way to the ring, or whatever else it is, as a live performance. You don't get that as much anymore. You should have more of that, where it's like you get to see, like, that's the celebrity or pseudo celebrity involvement that I want to see. I don't want to see, Jelly Roll or whoever else like getting in there and wrestling or whatever. I want to see these guys just like, if they have somebody's theme music, singing their song and maybe being in somebody's corner or something else or whatever else. Maybe they can throw a punch or do something else or whatever here or there, but they shouldn't be the main like combatants. They shouldn't be the ones getting in there and wrestling. Because again, it's not just dangerous for them, it's dangerous for the wrestlers, and it's dangerous for everyone, and it's just not a time to be had. So yeah, I just don't think. And again, like, I mean, maybe like you get that really casual like interest of like, oh, Jelly Roll's gonna wrestle or whatever, but like, you don't get that from the fans. You don't get that from the hardcore or the more hardcore audience, where it's like, what the hell? Why is Jelly Roll wrestling? Bro, I don't know. Like, He's not a wrestler. What's going on, bro? Thought this was wrestling. Even though it's entertainment, it's still like, this is about, at the end of the day, this is about telling stories and having those matches and those moments in the ring. Not just, like, and yes, you can do that with a celebrity if they train properly, but like, that takes weeks, months, years sometimes, depends, you know. So yeah, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, guys, that is it, I think, pretty much for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Who's got some great theme music in your guys' opinions? Whatever. Who's got some bad ones, I guess, as well. Let me know down there in the comments. And also, do take care of yourselves and each other. And I hope you will be able to join me again in another one.